Hi, this is John Marshall, the DrillMaster, with a critique of a colors presentation at a basketball game, looks like. High school, Air Force Junior ROTC, had the cadet, one of the cadets, either in the unit or in the color guard, I'm not sure exactly which, but had a cadet contact me and ask for a critique of this performance. And it's just a colors presentation before a game. It's not a competition or anything, so it's only less than 2 minutes long. However, if you know me, I'm going to be talking probably quite a bit longer. All right, so let's see here. Let's get this going. So the announcement's made for everyone to please rise. It's really nice to see people standing for the colors presentation. Okay, here's where I have lots of trouble watching this. I don't know what this is other than exhibition color guard. So first, the team needs to be covered. The color guards wear their covers, wear their hats, flight caps, ceremonial caps. In this situation, with flight cap or ceremonial cap, if you're going to wear the ceremonial cap, it would be a good idea to wear the ceremonial belt as well. And that's authorized by headquarters, Air Force Junior ROTC. However, so you need to be covered. Color guards need to be covered all the time. Now, for Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard, in the Marine Corps order, it says specifically that covers are not worn, rifles are not taken into a church, a chapel. So there is guidance for those three services, but for the Army, the Air Force, and the Space Force, there isn't that specific guidance for regulation drill. For the for base honor guards, for the Air Force honor guard, it is there's guidance provided. But this is just a regular colors presentation. You need to be covered. Now, if the school has a policy of banning all headgear, I get that. A lot of JROTCs can't wear their covers at all throughout the school day. I don't know if they can wear them to and from school, but for a colors presentation, I would look for an exception in this case. It's full uniform, and full uniform is expected. No matter if you're indoors or outdoors, it doesn't matter. So let's I'm not going to take you back in the video, but I will take you back in your memory here if you want to rewind again. The command was present, and then the guards moved to port. That's not a technique that anybody uses. That's not a technique for the Air Force or any of the other services. Also, if you look here, the U.S. color bearer, the national color bearer, is holding on to the silk. The silk of a flag is the flag itself. That's what the Army has deemed it. So I use that term. This is the silk. This is the staff, and you don't hold on to the silk of a flag. It's called a silk because in general, they're made of silk. Now we have rayon and nylon and even cotton, but the high-level, very expensive ceremonial flags are made of silk, pure silk, everything. So you don't hold on to the flag, to the staff. You don't hold on to the flag at all. You hold on to the staff. You let the flag do what it's supposed to do, which is hang freely. It's a symbol of our nation, a free nation. Well, for how much longer, we don't know, but so we have a free nation, and holding on to the flag doesn't represent that freedom that we have. So that's the whole purpose there. It's supposed to hang free. It's supposed to fly free all the time. and for the Army and the Air Force, even at order, it's free, which is a little unfortunate because then it can become a hazard if wind picks up. So it can flap all around and you can not have control of it. But so I get it that a lot of Air Force units are forced into the regulation drill scenario at competitions where you have to use Army techniques. So both the guards start out at right shoulder, and we have both of the color bearers here with the left hand on the staff at the socket. Okay, I understand that. That's unfortunate, but it's pretty standard across the country because our judges aren't trained. They don't know how to look at the different standards and compare those apples and oranges, for lack of a better term. All right, so let's get to the guards here. I have no idea what to call that other than exhibition color guard. There is no such thing as this movement. It doesn't exist. That is not present arms. That is a rifle at the position of present almost. It's a little too high. But with the hand in front crossing over it, it boggles my mind to look at that and to think that somebody taught you that and thinks that it's okay. It's not in the Air Force manual. It's not in the training circular. It's not even in the Marine Corps order. And those are the only 3 manuals that exist that have any influence on what military color guards do. You of course, now I was just going to say you can't do that. Of course you can. You can just blow off this whole video. That doesn't mean anything to me, but what you're doing by blowing off this video and blowing off my critique, you're blowing off the manuals. You're blowing off the Air Force manual, the AFI, the Air Force pamphlet. All of these are have an influence on the color guard. You're blowing off the training circular. You're blowing off the Marine Corps order, where those 2 other manuals apply. You're just saying, screw the standards, I don't care. I like this because it looks cooler or awesomer or whatever thought process is there. Whoop, didn't go back far enough. All right. So with that, excuse me, with that halt team that you did, you need more practice. And Commander also, I forgot to mention this, the commands need to be louder. You're not calling commands just for the team. You're calling commands for everybody. You're supposed to give forward, march, nice and loud. Color guard, halt. Present arms, nice and loud so everybody can hear. They want to know what's going on. And actually, your present arms is the cue for whoever is playing the national anthem, whether they hit play or whether there's a pet band there or a full band there to start playing. People are relying on the commands to do what they're supposed to do. So many commanders they seem to be afraid, really, to call commands. It's just a tiny little voice so that only a couple of people can hear on the team. And this port, going to the port position, the rifle isn't too bad. The left hands are up too high though. So anyway, the halt was just, it needs work. It needs a lot of work. All right, so. Got an arm dipping here, but it really doesn't matter. So before we continue there with the watching the video, look at the angle of the color bearer here. So as you go to present, you shouldn't be pushing the color out so that your body angles from your waist. You should stand erect, nice and tall, and then push the staff out. Oh, I'm used to that wrist curl. Push the staff out so that your arm is parallel to the ground. So what you want to do is present, slide up about 3 inches, arms out. Out in one, and then order, arms back, pop, and then slide back down. So, and you're using Army technique, so the right hand is going to be in front of the mouth. And if you're using Air Force technique, it would be really low, shoulder level, forearm parallel, and which actually is not a good technique at all. It's the Air Force technique, but it's not really that good. So, but we've got some leaning over. Not supposed to do that. Don't have to push your shoulder forward at all. It's just your arm that is pushed out. Wow, what guards? Did you have a command? It didn't look like it. I don't know. Everything happened with well, I don't know what to say. It's just, this is such a poor performance. I know you can do better. I know you can do better than this. First, you need to read the manuals, the applicable manuals, which in this case is going to be the Air Force manual and the training circular. After you read those specific sections, then you need to work on following Air Force technique at the beginning and at the end of each movement, and then following the Army movements of travel between each of those beginning and ending movements. This is quite poor, and you're not executing what's going on here with our Colorbearer, who's coming back up. Oh, you're holding the staff, and you brought your left hand to bring the flag in, so that okay, just so you can see. So that's not a technique either. All right, so well, I stopped it at the guards. You're going to right shoulder. That's not how you go to right shoulder. You don't place the rifle on the shoulder with your left hand up here. Well, I could go into a lot of explanation, but I'm not going to. Let's see, colors reverse. No. Members of a color guard never perform about face or to the rear. For Air Force, it's called to the rear, and everybody else except Army. Army says rear march. Never about face, never to the rear. Colors reverse is explained completely in the training circular, and you need to look it up. You have to look it up. What you're doing is executing what the previous cadets taught you, and they learned it from the previous cadets, and they learned it from the previous and the previous, and it just keeps going and going and going. And sometimes that can be 20, 30 years. Nobody looks at a manual. In all of that time, it just keeps getting passed down. Well, this is what we do at our school. That's not what you're supposed to do, though. This isn't about, well, you know, when I was active duty, 20 years. Well, at my last base, you can hear young airmen I did it after my first base. Well, at my last base, and I got slammed hard for saying that. Rightfully so, because nobody cares what you did at your last base. You need to be here, shut up, and learn what's going on. That's active duty stuff. For here, what I constantly hear is, well, at our school and that's fine if you're going out on a fundraiser or whatever. But when it comes to standards for the flag protocol, color guard standards, we have manuals. You don't do Well, this is what we do at our school. Well, at my last school, when cadets changed their schools, at my last school we did this. Now, if excuse me, if you're talking about going from Army to Air Force or Air Force to Marine Corps or something like that, yeah, I get that. At my last school we did this. But again, the answer is shut up and listen to what we're teaching you, and keep your mouth closed for a while. Give it a few months, and then maybe after you learn the techniques here, then start offering information from what you did at your last school, if it's beneficial, if it's helpful. That's not colors reverse. It's not even close. And this is very disappointing. And I know that the team can do better. I'm lost for words, honestly. And I'm sorry if I know that I can sound harsh on social media and through YouTube here. I get it. I understand that. However, there's no excuse for this. It doesn't matter if cadets have taught this for years and years and years, or if an instructor has taught this for months or years or whatever. This is wrong. Almost everything here is wrong. You've got the order correct. The flag order is great. That you got that just fine. You're close to rendering proper honors to the flag, but it's incomplete. There's so much more that needs to happen. Well, thanks for watching. I hope for the school that that wanted the critique, I hope this is helpful. I really do. Just make comments. You can contact me. I will work with you through video, all for free. I'll do it. But you need to read your manuals. That's the first thing you need to do. You really don't need me. You just need to go into the manuals. If you have questions, sure, ask. Not a problem. Not at all. And for the rest who are, excuse me again, who are not associated with this team but are watching, thanks. I really appreciate it. You can go to my website and read all kinds of information about color guards and what the standards are and why. And I have a whole article series, The Why of Color Guard. Why do we do things the way we do? Because there's a reason. There's a reason for everything. If there wasn't a reason, you could do whatever you wanted, but we can't. When you wear a uniform, I've written this many times on social media. When you wear a uniform, you have responsibilities. When you pick up a piece of equipment, your responsibilities increase. And all of you are carrying a piece of equipment. You have big responsibilities because the national flag is right there. And that's a responsibility to honor. Well, thank you.